this video. So I want to explain to you how the law of attraction works. All right? Now, before I do that, understand that in the last video, I also talked about the dimensions. I gave you like an introduction to the third dimension, the fourth dimension, and the fifth dimension. And recall, these are levels of consciousness. And it's not that one is better than the other. I don't want you to come away with that. I want you to just understand that they each have their purpose. Like polarity is showing you that there's the opposite or the different, the other end of the spectrum. So in that coldness, all of a sudden, as you grow up, and then you, I don't know, I guess they have TV. Yeah, they have TV in the cold. Somehow or another, you recognize that there was a war. Okay? So in other words, in the land of our higher self, all that is all that is. There is no polarity. So that's why, this is important when it comes to law of attraction. That's why a lot of times what we do is we think we're focusing on good. We're focusing on good, 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 good. But in the land of higher self, there is no good or bad. It's all just love. It is literally all love. Okay, so that's very important that you understand that, because the law of attraction doesn't recognize polarity. The universe does not recognize polarity at all. There is no polarity. Polarity is a 3D consciousness, okay? So understanding that when you're dealing with your higher self is not judging based upon the terminology that we typically would use, because the terminology that we use, which is 3D, is judgmental. So let's say, for example, and reversal, money. There we go, that's the good one. Let's use money. Okay, so let's say that you're asking God, because you know there is a law, there's another universal law called the law of abundance. Okay, so let's say that you're saying, God, or whoever your higher source is, I want more money. I really want more money. Like, I'm doing everything, I'm focusing on it. I'm money, I'm abundance. You're saying all the affirmations and you're doing it, yet you don't feel abundant. Okay, so in your mind, you're saying it's not working. Now, even though, now when I say in your mind, there's two parts to your mind, right? There's the conscious part and the subconscious part. So the conscious part is the one that you're aware of. You're trying to convince yourself that you're abundant, right? Because you're saying the affirmations, you're trying to, you know, make it sound good, and you're being strong, you're putting depth in your voice, and you're just, you know, you're doing whatever it is that you're doing to say it, and you're consciously say it. But what's happening is, in the other part of your mind, the subconscious, that's the part that is not feeling abundant, and that's the part that the law of attraction is working from, is that subconscious mind. That, remember I talked about the light switch being off? That's the subconscious mind, okay? So now keep in mind, your higher self is on both ends. So your higher self knows what you want, and your higher self is trying to help you get there. But recall that your higher self, we are in the land of free will. So your higher self is not going to tell you this, that, and this, the other to get to where you want unless you ask. Okay, so keep in mind, that's what we're doing. We're learning how to ask our higher self how to do what it is that we want. So in the asking, this is what I want you to understand this when it comes to the law of attraction. What you're saying is what you're consciously saying, and you're using the words, and you're trying to make the projection, the pitch, the tone, to make it strong, to make it believable, but it's still words. Again, the universe doesn't know language. It literally doesn't know language. I'm not saying don't say it, but I'm just sharing with you, if that's all you're doing, why it's not working. Because it's not just about the language of what you're saying. The universe doesn't know language. Now, the next level up is your thoughts. So let me explain to you what typically happens. You're saying, I'm abundant. You're doing your affirmations. You're doing the things that you're supposed to. I keep saying this in quotes for a reason. But you're doing the things that you think you're supposed to do in order to convince your higher source that you are abundant and that you want money. But yet your thoughts, you're thinking otherwise. And this may not be consciously aware, you're consciously aware of. It may or may not be. A lot of times you're consciously aware of some of them, but the majority of them, you're not. Okay? If your thoughts are more of being non-abundant, that's what the universe is hearing. Let me explain to you why. If you just keep it very, very basic, your words, the universe doesn't hear them. Okay? The universe doesn't understand the words. Okay? They don't understand. I'm not going to say they don't hear, they don't understand the words. Now your thoughts are a different vibration. The universe speaks in vibration. So your thoughts are a higher vibration. Now the universe is hearing you. It's your thoughts. So if you say that you're abundant, but you're thinking non-abundant, that's why you're not abundant, because it's your thoughts. Now, but those things happen automatically in your subconscious that you're not aware of, which is why it's important that you do the work so that you are aware of what's going on in your mind. And let me explain to you why I put so much on meditation. One, because it's effective, but also two, the reason why I say meditation is because understand that when via meditation, what you're doing is you're being quiet so that you can hear the answers to what you're asking for, right? The answers may not come internal. I don't want you to think that. And that's something else I wanted to get straight. I don't want you to think that the answer will always just come, like just pop up in your mind, like all of a sudden, whatever, well, the answer will pop up in your mind. It doesn't always work like that. A lot of times it may, but sometimes it may be an idea. Like all of a sudden you're in your meditation, it's like, call a friend. And then so when you're done with meditation, you call a friend, and that friend had an idea or said something that you need to hear. Or it may be something where you're done with your meditation and you've already asked what you want, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I want to go online to do this, and then you find yourself in what I call, in other words, you were led to go there and you will find exactly what you want. Or it may be something on YouTube. So in other words, I don't want you to think the answer just comes in your mind. What the answer does, it may be a peak in your mind, it may be a thought or an idea that will lead you elsewhere or lead you to perform an action to actually find out what it is that you need to know. So I say that because let's say that there's a subconscious block that you're not aware of. Now all of a sudden, you may be going on to Google or going on the internet, and all of a sudden the emotions code comes up. You're like, that's random, that's odd. But it isn't random and it isn't odd, there is no coincidence. All before, it was probably there, but your attention wasn't drawn to it. But now you see this book called The Emotions Code, where it shares with you how to address those subconscious blocks. Is in your reality, is letting you know that there's something in your subconscious mind that you need to address, and it's showing you a way how to do it. Okay, so that's why I say meditation, because meditation leaves you quiet and still so that you're able to hear the answer, and then you'll be able to take the action that you need. Or if you're just running here, there, another, and trying to do this, and you're listening to this person say this and that person say that, and you're following along like this, like a whack-a-mole, and this is coming up, and this is coming up, and you're just hitting this and hitting this, that's not going to be effective for you. If you take a proactive approach where you just sit down and be still, the right teacher will come and tell you the right thing. It's not you just running off on a tangent. You will be directed to the right person, the right book, the right whatever it may be that will help you. Okay? So understand that's what's happening with the thoughts, which are a higher vibration. Now you're speaking to the universe via your thoughts. Even more is your feelings. Your feelings toward money, your feelings toward being abundant. That's what the universe is like. That's, how when you think by saying something louder and stronger that you're making more of a intention, is when you're feeling it. So if you say it, you think it, and you feel it, can you imagine? That's when it happens. You have to say it. You have to ask for it. You have to think it consciously and subconsciously, and you have to feel it. Those three things are the powerhouse, and that's what moves the law of attraction. If you don't